Dun, 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 dun.
Welcome to the Berean Youth Podcast. Welcome to the biggest show on earth, whatever that means. I don't know. Every week I say something stupid, so I thought I'd say that.
That's a good way to start it off.
By the way, both of you were in sync in the way that you were like moving your shoulders to that music.
I was following
awesome.
Eddie's lead.
All right.
It's catchy.
Well, welcome to the Berean Youth Podcast. If you have not joined us before, this is a podcast for students or adults where we talk about life, stupid things, and then we also talk about faith and answer your questions.
Mm-hmm.
My name is Dusty. I am one of your hosts, and I'm here alongside my co-host, Eddie. Eddie, what's up?
What's going on, everybody?
Eddie, tell them what your favorite cereal is.
My favorite cereal, hands down, Captain Crunch.
Wrong.
Oh, I don't know about that.
Apple Jacks. All right. And next to us is one of our friends we've had on before, as she is our youth admin assistant. I don't remember.
Dusty doesn't actually know what my title is.
I don't know. You are literally the person that holds us all together.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
that is, she's like, okay, you can call me that though. That is Laura. What's up, Laura?
Oh, hey, doing good.
What have you been up to?
Oh, what have I been up to? I
Okay, a
don't
lot.
even know.
Great. Sounds like you have a really
Oh,
busy life.
really,
Really exciting life.
exciting.
Yeah.
Nope, can't think of anything.
Good job. Just been sniffing
Just been
essential
sitting
oils.
at
Yeah, pretty
home.
much.
No, actually, nerd alert. I cracked open my 2021 planner at home
Okay.
over the
Whoa.
weekend.
Can I just say-
Broke out my colored markers. Oh, it was
Okay.
great.
When you say I broke open my planner, you didn't have to say nerd alert. We knew.
Yeah,
Okay.
right.
That
I know,
was-
but I just had to, you know.
Okay.
That's like Dusty walking in the room and saying bald alert. We already knew. We already knew that.
Thank
Why did you laugh so hard at that?
Because it's
All right.
funny.
Well,
Why didn't you?
I just got back from Florida. If you're watching this on YouTube, I look like Bob the Tomato a little bit. I got a little bit of sun when I
Little
was
bit.
at the beach.
Or a lot.
But can I just say Florida was awesome. Just nice in the 70s and 80s the whole time down there. I was loving it.
Do you want to sing that again?
No. And then came back to the snow.
Yeah.
And by the way, love my wife and my daughter, but neither one shoveled the snow in the driveway. So I have to do that this afternoon when I get home. But Florida was great. I got to say, though, one thing that I didn't like about Florida was that most of the restaurants I went to had paper straws.
Ouch.
Yeah. Can I just say that paper straws are like, I mean, we're not in a communist country. You can use a plastic
You can
straw,
use
right?
a plastic straw. I
They're
think you
just
can.
gross. Like, oh, am I drinking my smoothie or is that the paper straw that's coming up through there?
Right.
Like, ew.
Like seriously, I would get the drink of the gods, Diet Coke, and I would be drinking it, and halfway through it would be like mushy. The straw would be
Yeah.
mushy.
Paper and water just don't mix.
And, thanks for that science lesson, Eddie.
Yes.
And it was just gross, and I'm like, seriously, like, are we trying to save the turtles? Because I don't think turtles use plastic straws. You can comment in the section, send me
Yeah.
hate mail. I don't
Let
care.
us know.
But so anyway, I just had to get that off my chest.
That's our controversial topic of the day.
But
Paper
while-
or plastic.
Okay, so while I was down there, we were touring a college for my daughter, and I have to say I realized something that really hurts, and that is I am a dad. Now, that sounds funny, but like I am like the dad I always made fun of.
Oof.
Like we were on campus and we were touring the film department because she wants to go into film. And I'm like taking pictures of everything and like commenting on everything. And I'm like trying to make jokes with the guy that's like leading the tour. And my daughter's giving me dirty looks. It was awesome.
I mean, it sounds awesome.
Yeah, it was awesome. And so like I was like, oh, your mom's going to want to see this. And I'd take pictures. It was horrible.
Oh, it's kind of cute.
Yeah. Okay.
You enjoyed it. You enjoyed it.
I did enjoy it. I had a lot of fun. My daughter later told me that she wishes I wasn't there, but
Oh.
actually she didn't quite say that, but almost. But
Well, I guess that means you did your dad job well.
That's right.
that's right. I did. So there's a lot been going on lately around here, and we got a lot of stuff on the plate for the show today. But Eddie, I know you're always in the news looking at news stories. Have you seen
Yes.
anything interesting lately?
Well, let me tell you something. You know me. I'm a big sports guy. So if I
Okay.
find something with sports, that's what I'm going to latch on to.
No, really? Okay.
Now, this isn't about the game specifically.
What's your favorite sport?
Basketball is my favorite
Which is
sport.
funny because you're like so short. But go ahead.
Yes, it was my dream for a time to play in the NBA.
Really?
Aw,
My dad
big dreams.
my dad may or may not have told me you're not going to be in the NBA,
That's right.
but that's okay. So
You
any-
could be a ball boy or a
I
water boy or
I
something.
could. Larry Fitzgerald was a ball boy before he
Okay.
played in the NFL. So
All right.
we're getting off track. Anyways, Aaron Rodgers of the hated Green Bay Packers
Yes.
is going to host Jeopardy for 10 consecutive episodes.
Really?
So I know what show I won't be watching.
It's like a
Wow.
whole season.
Okay, what are the odds that he throws an interception? Because you know throws one every game because he's horrible.
Very often.
But Jeopardy. Any of you guys? Do you guys watch Jeopardy, Laura? You ever watch Jeopardy?
Yeah, I've watched it once or twice.
Really? Yeah. When you watch Jeopardy, does it make you feel smarter or dumber?
Probably dumber.
Definitely dumber.
Yeah, me too, man. I'll watch it, and those people are like buzzing in, saying like these crazy answers, and I'm like, I didn't even hear the question.
I have to
Like,
think about how am I supposed to respond?
Oh yeah, you got to put
question
what in front
or-
of. Okay, the rest of the podcast, I'm answering everything with what is.
Unless there's a sports
Sounds great.
section, I can't play.
What is a funny comment? All right. Okay, I can't do that anymore. All right. Best of luck to you, Aaron Rodgers. Hope that you do good hosting. Sad that Alex Trebek died, but
Yes.
good for you, Aaron Rodgers. Hope you do good.
Mm-hmm.
All right. What else? You got anything else?
Oh, what else have you guys been looking at?
Well, I was watching this thing the other day where this guy, I was looking at stuff in Florida, and instead of a pet dog or a pet cat, he had a pet alligator. Like,
Wow.
I'm not talking like tiny. I'm talking like alligator that's like 7-8 foot long.
Ugh.
Like, what do you do with that? Do you take it for walks?
Does it stay in your pool and you like lock all your doors and just look at it through the window, or?
I don't know. Like, what do you can't-
Yeah, that's a good
You
question.
can't take it on walks. What do you feed it? Like the pets from the neighborhood?
Small
or
animals. Can you train
Your
it? Are
neighbor's
they
like-
smart?
Your neighbor's like, our cat's missing. Have you seen it? Nope. Definitely wasn't my alligator.
Fur ball next to the pool.
Yeah. Here's my bigger question: is that even legal? Can you even own an alligator?
Ooh, good question. I
Well,
don't know.
People own tigers,
Well, yeah, kind of.
black market alligators.
Yeah, yeah. Is there a black market alligator?
There must be.
Like you're deep on the web, going, "Ooh, I got to get one with big eyes."
Let me
Like,
tell
what?
you,
What's
if there was such a market, you would find it in Florida.
That's right.
Yeah.
By the way, have you ever eaten alligator?
I have actually.
I
Yeah?
haven't.
Yep.
But I know it's at the
I have
state
as
fair.
well. So tell me what I will save what my reaction was. What did you think of alligator when you had it?
I didn't think it was that bad. It reminded me of chicken. I think there was a
Yes.
dipping sauce. We were in Louisiana, so it was like actually good stuff.
Okay.
So
Yeah, I was in Florida a long time ago, and I had chicken, or they were like chicken bites, but they were alligator bites. And yeah, it tastes like chicken, but it was definitely chewier.
Yeah. Yep. Chewy.
And but I don't think I'll ever eat it again.
I'm not
Yeah.
a super adventurous food person.
Really?
I don't think I would really be interested in trying alligator.
What if somebody said, "I'll pay you $100 to eat this alligator steak"?
I mean, yeah, I would eat it for $100.
so you are
but
adventurous
Oh.
just for money.
just for the right price.
So when I was in Colorado recently, my father-in-law ordered escargot and
Ooh.
somehow talked me into trying it.
That's snails, right?
Yeah.
Oh,
Gross.
Yeah.
Slimy.
No.
I felt like I was on Fear Factor.
Why would you eat that?
Gross.
That's
Peer
like
pressure. Peer
that's-
pressure from
that's
my
like-
in-laws. Okay.
people eat raw oysters, and it looks like they're just sucking down a loogie or
Ugh,
something.
never again. Would not recommend.
Oysters have one of the worst smells of food.
Why?
It's bad.
I want to know who the first person that thought, "Oh, eating this raw would be a good idea. Let me try it."
Yeah.
And now let me open
Somebody
a restaurant.
who was really, really hungry.
sucker a bunch of people to eating raw food.
This is a delicacy. Who decides that?
Yeah, I don't know. That's like going to restaurants where they have you cook the food, like a fondue place. No, I'm paying money. You cook my
You
food.
put it in front of me.
Right.
Yeah, right.
That
Like,
is
why would I
true.
pay? Why would I pay you to have me do your job?
Someone's pulling the wool over your eyes.
Yeah.
The
Jesse.
look of disgust on
That's why
your
I don't
face
go
right
through
now
the
just
self
says it all.
checkout either. I'm not going through self checkout. I'm not doing the job for you.
It's kind of fun though. You know, when you were a kid, didn't you always dream of like using the little
I
scanner.
had a little
Now,
higher.
that's a nerd alert right there.
I had a little higher aspirations than working in the grocery store.
Well, I mean,
Like I wanted to be like a pro baseball player.
I'm not saying I wanted to work in the grocery
When
store. I
I
just
grow
wanted to
up-
use the thing.
When I grow up, I want to be a checker at the grocery store and beep, beep, beep.
It's cool.
Nerd alert.
Nerd alert.
Oh.
All right. Well, we got to get going. Hey, this week we have a new segment.
Yes.
Last couple of weeks we've had a couple segments that we've tried. This week we're trying something new because we have Laura here.
Mm-hmm.
Laura is very trendy, kind of, and so we have a new segment that we are calling #trendy. Now I don't even know if hashtag's still
Is
cool.
that trendy though?
Is hashtag trendy?
I don't know.
What if you're watching YouTube, hashtag like that, like you use your fingers to make the hashtag?
If everybody remembers what Dusty just said about
Hashtag,
being a
hashtag.
dad, I think that's coming out right now.
Hashtag dad.
Well, let me tell you something about hashtags and dads. When I started calling it hashtags, my dad said, "It's not a hashtag, that's a pound symbol."
Oh, a pound
you-
symbol, not
It's
even
the number
sign.
It's
If-
the number sign.
If you out there, any of you students, can tell me what pound symbol means, I would be very impressed.
I don't know what pound
that make
symbol
me
means,
old?
but hashtag. So, but when I moved here, I realized it's not a hashtag; it's a hashtag.
Oh,
Because
hashtag,
everybody-
they're big.
A
Never heard that
hashtag.
one before.
Oh my goodness! It's like calling a sweatshirt a sweater.
Oh,
which
don't
is
start
something-
with this.
Anyway,
Okay. All right.
hashtag
Sorry.
trendy.
Sorry.
Okay.
Hashtag trendy. All right. So you have some trends that you're gonna run by us.
I do. I have a few. So the first one,
Yes.
have you ever been told that you have a doppelganger?
A what?
Doppelganger. Do
I
you
don't
even know
think
what
I
that
have.
is?
Doppelganger's like somebody that looks like you, right?
Yeah. So
Yes.
apparently,
Dusty, every bald person ever.
No. Actually, I have a couple times, but go ahead.
Okay, so apparently there is a social media project where you can submit pictures of yourself and they will then find your doppelganger. And if you are lucky enough to get selected, they will fly you for free to meet your doppelganger.
Dude.
That's kind of
What
crazy.
if my doppelganger lived like somewhere I don't want to go? Could I decline?
I don't
Like
know.
Florida, yes.
Hopefully they live somewhere
North
cool.
Pole, no.
Well, with these Zoom days, I think you could just have the meeting on the computer if you really wanted to.
But that's not as cool.
Now, by the way, when I said North Pole, I'm not saying I look like Santa.
Yeah, Santa
Okay,
has
nobody
hair.
said that, but
Santa,
okay.
Santa has hair.
So my mind goes in weird places. Okay, so I have had somebody say I had a doppelganger. Once, one person told me I look like there's a guy on TV that bakes cakes,
Mm-hmm.
and then he's also on like these cake contest shows. His name's Duff, and he does like Charm City cakes.
Huh.
They said I look like him, mostly because he's a bigger guy and bald. But then also there's a band called the Bare Naked Ladies.
Okay, I've heard of them.
Which don't just, if you're watching this, don't Google Bare Naked Ladies.
Oh,
Please
gosh.
But okay, we're getting into uncharted water here. But anyway, the drummer for that band, when I was in the airport once, somebody thought I was him, and I actually signed autographs.
No, you didn't.
I did.
You
I was
did.
like,
I
dude,
remember this.
I'm living it up, man.
Wow,
And so,
aren't
I
you
had, like,
cool?
I signed like 4 autographs for it.
What a
and
poser.
I was. I don't care. I'll take it. And so I signed them. I mean, I made that person's day. I mean, they're walking away happy like they met somebody until later their friend goes, "Who is that schmuck on your thing?"
Well,
your picture.
let me
Oh,
just
my
say,
goodness.
if you met this guy in the airport years ago and thought he was the drummer for that band, I'm sorry.
So doppelganger project. All right. Anything else trendy going on?
I do, yes. Okay, so apparently there is a trend where people have been posting videos of themselves putting on 100 layers of makeup.
What?
Wow.
Are
Yeah.
you kidding me?
It is rather disturbing looking. Like, there was a girl
Like, I
with
don't
a
even
huge
understand.
chunk of eyelashes. She had so much mascara on.
Wow.
I don't even understand how you do that.
Or, like, imagine your fingernails with, like, complete 3D effect
Oh, they
nail
do it on
polish.
fingernails, too?
Yes.
dude, that
So-
would be so awesome.
I would bet there are some cool things you can see, but my biggest takeaway from this right away is that the pandemic has given people a lot of time, and
Okay.
some things have been good, some things probably were
Okay,
not.
here's the challenge. If we have 100 people like this video, we get 100 likes, we will put 100 layers of makeup on Eddie.
Yes, that would
100
be
layers.
You
so
volunteer
much
me
fun.
for these things.
All right.
Me and Erica would go crazy
How
on
do you
that.
do
Oh
like
my gosh.
lipstick? Like you couldn't even close your mouth.
Yeah,
Lipstick
I
would-
don't know. That'd be so gross.
I don't understand this. As a girl, explain this. Does makeup dry and then you put it on, or is it like? Because like I would think like it's wet and then you. I don't know.
I mean, it kind of depends. A lot of times people will put like a dry powder over their foundation to make sure that it is not
So you have
sticky.
like somebody that's like really thin, and then they put 100 things of makeup on, and they just have this big round face.
Well, I mean, I don't think it's that dramatic.
Oh.
It's
Well,
like
it's 100. Here's the thing. Here's
I
the
guess a
thing.
layer of makeup's not that thick though.
right.
You never,
like face makeup, yeah.
having grown up with 3 sisters, you never want to say anything to somebody about their makeup. But
Unless it's girl on girl, I feel like that's
Right.
like if somebody has like, oh, you have some black specks under your
Yeah, I
eyes.
can't
like,
go up
whatever.
and- I
but
can't
if
just
you
go
said
up
something to
to
me like,
some lady and be like, "Oh, your makeup looks so good today," or
right.
"Oh, you need a little more foundation right there."
yeah, that's where you get in trouble.
Yeah,
the
then-
negative comments.
Right.
Positive comments are fine.
yeah.
But
Like you're missing an eyelash, or
or like,
something.
oh,
This
your
is
face
where
is a
you-
different color than your neck. Like,
Or like that one time I
Ugh.
told that lady at the store, "You could really use some makeup."
Oh,
No, I didn't.
okay.
You didn't say that.
Anyways,
Oh, man.
moving on.
Okay, next trend. Let's hear it.
Okay, the last one. Obviously, we all know like virtual reality, augmented reality. So apparently,
Kind of. I've heard of it.
okay, well,
I'm a dad.
it's like filters. You know, you put a face filter
don't know
on,
what
your
a
face is
filter-
different.
Coffee filter.
Okay, Grandpa.
Alright.
Anyways, so apparently Burger King had an app. In their app, you could like take a picture of a competing restaurant sign and then click a button and it would burn the
sign to the
the
ground.
sign or the
Wow.
ad to the ground.
That's some aggressive
and then
advertising.
You would get like a
Dude.
point towards your next
Are you
order.
So
Wow.
I feel like that's like begging somebody to really burn a sign and be like, I
know.
want extra points because it's real.
Crazy. What in the world?
Talk
That
about
is
aggressive. The
Crazy.
King's getting crazy, man.
Yes.
By the way, that mascot, the King for Burger King, that
Mhm.
guy's creepy, man.
Yeah.
He is a little creepy.
And no wonder they burned signs. They can make a whole like horror film just about Burger King and that guy.
He's feeling threatened by Ronald McDonald.
Let's go burn stuff. Yeah, Burger King. I'm roiled. Oh, seriously.
He's feeling threatened by Ronald McDonald. I
Ronald
guess.
McDonald's gone. I think they got rid of him, didn't they?
What? Why?
I
He was
guess
so
maybe they did.
nice.
I don't know.
Well, he's a clown, and that
Oh.
scares me. I don't know.
That scares people.
Oh, okay.
But seriously,
I guess I never
like that is pretty aggressive. That sounds like something they do in Minnesota. Very passive aggressive.
Yeah.
Like, oh, your sign looks so nice.
Let me-
Burn.
Take a picture and virtually burn it.
That's crazy.
That is crazy. That is crazy.
Can you like take a picture of the building and blow it up or something?
No, I think it's like the sign with an ad on it. Like it
Huh.
has the words
Okay.
of like their ad, and then you can burn that to the ground. Yeah.
Yeah, that's I don't know if I like that.
I don't like it.
Yeah. I'll stick to Chick-fil-A.
Me too.
The Lord's chicken.
Oh. All right.
Oh man.
All right. Well, we have talked about plenty of nonsense today, so I
Pretty
think it's
much
time
nothing.
for us to get into our question of the day.
Yes.
Are you guys ready for this?
We are
Always.
ready.
All right, let's go.
Good question.
All right. Good question. This is the part of our show where we take one of the questions from you, one of our listeners, and we will try and answer it to the best of our ability. Not always will we have all the right answers, but we will try and help you out. So today we got a question that came in through Instagram, I believe.
Yes.
And I don't remember if it's high school or middle school,
I'm not sure either.
but what was the question, Eddie?
So the question, it comes from a student, and they ask, what does it mean if I can't stop thinking about other things during church?
What does it mean if I can't stop thinking about other things during church? Man, that is a honest question right
Mhm.
there. Like we get a lot of questions like, can God do this? Or can God, make a monster truck so big that he can run over the earth? Which is great questions, but
Right.
this one's like down to earth. Like, man,
Right.
this is something I struggle with. So bravo, whoever wrote that question, bravo to you.
Mhm.
Bravo, just I used a really fancy word there.
You did.
But anyway, great question. My first reaction to the what did I
I'm just laughing at you.
do? I say great question a lot.
No.
My first reaction to this is that you are just like anybody else.
Yeah.
Like everybody has this problem. In fact, the reason why we go to church is so that we can get away from the distractions of life and start to concentrate on God. So when you go there and you have things in your mind that are distracting you, that's normal because that's why you're there, is so that you can worship God and try and declutter a little bit and worship God. But I think that so when the question says, what does it mean? It means you're normal. It means that the fact that you are recognizing this and you want to learn how to fix it means that you really want to worship and that you feel that it's a bad thing to not concentrate on God. And so what I would say to you is that in church, try and do the best you can to get rid of distractions. If that means you're putting your phone away and using a regular paper Bible, if it means not sitting, if it's in youth group and it means not sitting right next to your best friend that you're going to talk to all the time, or if it just means really trying to concentrate on what's being sung or what's being said. One of the best ways, I think, to concentrate and to not give in to the distractions is to take notes. If you're listening to a pastor give a sermon, when I write things down and I take notes, I pay attention so much more than if I just listen. Because if I just listen, halfway through, I'm wondering what I'm having for lunch. I'm wondering what I have to do later this week. I'm wondering, when's it going to be warm enough for me to play golf? These kind of things. But if I'm taking notes, I am really starting to pay attention. And so I think that's one way that you could do it. You guys have any other ways that help you pay attention or get rid of distractions during church?
Well, for me, as somebody else who, like you said, this happens with everybody. I'm no different. This happens with me too. Something that I've learned and I'm still learning how to do. It's not something that I've learned and said, okay, I mastered this. It's something that I have to do over and over and over again, is turn the distractions into ways to focus on God. What is it that I'm worried about? Something going on at home, something going on with my friend, something going on at school. I'm going to pray about it. Or I'm going to listen to what the pastor's saying and see, okay, how can I apply what he's saying to my life outside of church? Not just right here, right now, but tomorrow. What's going to be different because of what I've learned today? Yeah. So when you start to feel that distraction, acknowledge it and say, how can I turn this into a way to engage with God here, right now?
Yeah. And I think that we think about it mostly when we're at church, but I don't think distractions are a church thing. I think we can be distracted from spending time with God outside of church as well. Right. I sit down to read my Bible, to do devotions, and I get distracted by thinking, oh, I forgot I needed to do this. Or if I'm tired, I start getting distracted because I get tired. Or if I go to pray, I'll start praying and I will pray for a friend of mine. And then my mind will start going to, oh, I remember that time my friend and I did this and whatever. And I start rabbit trailing down. I think one of the best Bible verses for this talks about setting your mind on things above. And it's Philippians 4:8. It says, finally, brothers, whatever is true, whatever is honorable, whatever is just, whatever is pure, whatever is lovely, whatever is commendable, if there's any excellence, if there's anything worthy of praise, think about these things. And so even if you just take one of those when you're sitting to do your quiet time, or if you're preparing at church and church is getting ready to start, and say, okay, I'm going to think about what is pure. Okay, God is pure. The Holy Spirit is pure. The fact that, my life when I give it to God is now pure. And you start thinking about these things, it's going to get you in a mindset because you're concentrating on the Word of God. And I also think, one of the stories that I think about too is we always think that God's going to get mad at us if we're not paying attention in church, like, oh my goodness. And then God's never going to speak to me, or like I'm never going to hear from God, or when I pray, I'm not going to have my prayers answered because I don't pay attention in that. But I really think back to like in 1 Samuel, the story of Samuel when he was a boy, and he's in the temple with Eli, and they're asleep, they're asleep in the temple, and then God speaks to Samuel and says, "Here am I," right? And then he gets up and thinks it's Eli and says, "Hey, did you talk to me?" And he's like, "No, it wasn't me." And so he lays back down. The God says again, "Hey, Samuel." And he gets back up, goes to Eli, does that 3 times until finally Eli's like, maybe it's God that's talking to you. So the 4th time God says it, Samuel's like, "Yes, here I am, God." And he recognizes it's God's voice. To me, I read that story and I think, man, God didn't give up on speaking to Samuel. Like, he spoke to him 4 times. He kept coming at him. And, even when Samuel didn't recognize the voice, maybe because he was distracted. So I think that's another thing just to keep hope for you, is that even if you messed up with distractions in church, no problem. Just make it better next time. What about you, Laura?
Yeah, I think that with our cell phones, a lot of time, we are always filling our mind with something. We're always taking in content or listening to something or watching a video, and we don't often give ourselves just like white space to not be taking anything and just be thinking and processing. And so then I think sometimes when we sit down in a context like church, where we're just sitting and we're not looking at our phone, instead of paying attention, we start processing all the things that we haven't given our mind a chance to process anywhere else.
Yep.
And so if we recognize that and we're intentional of like, okay, from this time to this time, I'm not going to have my phone out. I'm not going to watch a show. I'm just going to maybe do some drawing and process my thoughts, or journal and process my thoughts, or listen to music, or something where your mind can, or even just sit quietly. Sometimes I just like sit quietly on the couch and process, just think about what's been going on, and just giving ourselves time to do that, I think, is important.
Yeah. Have you ever, like, I've been in a church service once where they said, okay, now we're going to spend my dad's church back in Kansas. It's a smaller church, and they every Sunday spend a quiet time in their service where they say, okay, over the next 5 to 10 minutes, we're all going to just sit quiet. And then during that time, if you have something you want to pray, you can stand and pray. But I mean, if you just sit there, like after a minute of just quiet and you not doing anything and just sitting there for a minute, it feels like you've been there 10 minutes, and it's because we're so used to stimulation of the brain, so used to content coming in. And so no wonder we can't pay attention in church, or we think about other things because we're so used to it.
Yeah. And I think sometimes we don't even know what we actually think because we're just listening to other people's thoughts on things all the time.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
So whoever asked this question, what does it mean if I can't stop thinking about other things during church? It means you're normal. It also means that maybe you need to figure out ways to pay more attention in church, whether it's taking notes or getting rid of your phone during church. And it also might mean that you just need to spend more time just in silence, or more time what we call meditating on God's word, and maybe on Philippians 4:8. So, but know this, that I am exactly the way you are, and so are all of us, because it's hard to get rid of distractions. Yeah. But hopefully next time you're at church, you'll be able to, whether it's in youth group or in main service, that you'll be able to pay attention a little more, just so that God can continue to talk to you.
Yes.
So, great question, by the way. Very practical, down-to-earth question. Love that. If you have any questions, any other questions, make sure you leave them in the comments. And if you have any other comments you want to comment, leave them there. If you want to see Eddie wear 100 layers of makeup. Tell us what color you want him to wear, that kind of stuff. Make sure you like this video so that we can get that makeup on Eddie. Make sure you subscribe and you put the bell on, ding the bell, whatever, something
like
bell.
that.
There's a bell?
Yeah.
There is to let you know when we upload a video.
Yeah. Come on, get with it. All the
I
kids
thought you were
know.
#trendy.
Apparently not.
Yeah. Yes. Hit that bell so that you know when our next video is coming out. And if you're listening to this on one of your podcast streamers, you can email Eddie at eddier, EDDIER, at BereanBaptist.com. You can email him your questions, and we would love to get your questions. Please send in questions.
Mm-hmm.
That would be awesome. All right. Well, as every week, we like to end with a resource for you that can help you in your faith or help you in your spiritual journey. And who has the resource this week?
I have a resource.
All
for
right,
us.
great. Because
So-
I didn't have one.
Me neither.
I was scared. I was like, okay.
So just this last weekend, I came across an app called Faithful. It's a new app that's been released by some of the bigger, more influential pastors.
An app.
Yes.
When I hear app, I think appetizer. It makes me
Oh
hungry.
my
Go ahead.
goodness.
So
Sorry.
people like Levi Lusko, for example,
Okay,
someone who's
yeah.
a great pastor, they upload content on this app about different questions that people have or different things that people struggle with. Little few-minute
Okay.
clips on these verses and how these
Cool,
verses
yeah.
can help you with this this issue or whatever it might be. And it's a great way to engage with your own questions, but it's also a great way to reach out to other people and to say, you have a question about this, let's watch this video together and see kind of what we need to talk about.
Cool.
That's cool. I've
And
never
it's
heard
called
of that.
Faithful.
It's called Faithful, yes.
Is
And
it?
just FAITHFUL?
Yes.
Okay. And
Super
and
cool.
you just search that in the App Store.
Yep, and
You'll
you can
find it.
download it, and you've got that, and it kind of introduces
Is it
you.
free?
Yes,
Okay, cool.
and it introduces you to some other people as well. So you might start with Levi Lusko, but you can end up finding somebody who's from a local church
Right.
and gives. And
Yeah, check that out. And,
Awesome.
whenever we give these resources, just so you know, these are resources that we've used or ones that have helped us. Not always do we agree with everything they say.
Exactly, yep.
But we think that it's a helpful thing that can help you. So,
correct.
so check that out. Also, this week's podcast is sponsored by our Greater Impact Conference. If you don't know what that is, if you have a mom, a dad, grandparent, or any other adult in your life, we have a conference coming up at our church called Greater Impact. It's going to be March 6th and 7th, I believe.
March
5th and
5th and
6th.
6th.
I think it's 5th
March
and 6th.
5th and 6th. I was close.
You were close. You were
All
close.
right, March 5th and 6th. And what we're going to be doing is talking about discipleship and partnering the church and the family. So there's going to be great things for parents, for grandparents, for just people that know students, but how to disciple the next generation. So make sure if you have a parent or grandparent or any adult in your life, have them check out our website at BereanMN.com and check out Greater Impact Conference. I'm going to be teaching a breakout, which will be
Nice.
awesome. My breakout is called what did I call
Oh
it?
my goodness.
Oh, no. You can't remember anything.
My breakout's called You Do You, discipling students in a me-centric world. So
I wanna go to that.
So that's going to be good. Yeah, come on. All right, so check that out. All right, well, we thank you so much for joining us this week. We've had a lot of fun talking about some crazy stuff. Please like this video so that we can see Eddie in makeup. and if you have anything else you want us to talk about or have any trends that you know about that you want us to discuss, put those in the comments. Otherwise, thanks, Laura, for joining us. It's been great having you back.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
And Eddie, as always, it's been a pleasure,
It has been a pleasure.
even though you call a sweatshirt a sweater.
Same thing.
All right. We hope you have a great day, and we will talk to you later. God bless. See ya.
See ya.
See ya.
Is anybody going to say anything?